Day.
Hey,
Somebody, you was almost there.
You almost there.
you got a chalkboard in your class?
And I use the smelly good stickers too that you scratch and sniff.
What grade you teach?
10th, 11th, and 12th. You gotta keep it
I
funny.
don't smell it.
That's why they can't read. They
Smelly
gonna be in the
stickers.
third grade.
You better have that sticker that smell like
I do.
Popeyes.
Hey, you got a chalkboard in your class?
Do I have what?
A chalkboard. They still have it?
No, it's white boys only.
I can't write on whiteboards and
White boy
chalkboards.
only, baby.
Racist ass boards.
I know, right?
Racist ass boys there.
What happened?
You stupid.
Damn.
Hey, y'all, how y'all feeling? I see some new faces in the crowd.
We gonna close the door so
Welcome,
we can get
welcome.
it
Yeah, they
cool
close the
in
door like this church.
Right.
It's all right. Hey, Kilo. Welcome.
Kilo on the
Don't forget
floor.
to take pictures tonight, Kilo.
Let's kick it off, guys.
Don't forget to take pictures tonight.
We got sunshine outside. This
I
is
know,
Yeah,
right? It
right.
feel a
Have
little,
y'all noticed
it
this?
feel a little weird.
I was
running late
driving. I
because
was
of
Right.
that.
like,
I thought I was tripping.
What's going on out
I
here?
ain't
Am
want
I-
to say nothing, but
Doesn't
I
it
did.
It's a new moon today, though, dog.
Nah,
It's
it
the
had me
6-6
running
portal
late,
today.
son. They had me running
hold
late.
on. A what?
It's the 6-6 portal today.
That's
It's
my
a new
number.
and it's a new moon today.
Oh,
my
man,
number.
And
it's
what's
always
on you?
There you go with that astrology shit.
Always
It
something.
is a 6-6 portal. Who my new moon people? Who know it's a new moon tonight?
I mean,
hey
yeah,
y'all, what's y'all?
Amanda back there, so you know
Amanda
she.
and my fairy godmother's back there. So come on now.
Not fairy godmother.
That is my fairy goddess mother.
Kick that thing off though.
All right, what's jam, y'all? I am so happy to be here. I missed the last pod because I was at graduation, but it feels so good to be back with the fam. I am your host, Kia Hospital, with my fellow co-hosts, Good Street Sam, Trey with the Convo, Naturally Neek, Jew Pac, and we are
The Convo Club.
What's jam? Okay, and today we're talking about literacy. She got to say it.
Literacy. Well, first of all, I wasn't here last show either. But I'm back by surprise. I know you ain't know I was
Yeah.
coming. But
Man made a cameo.
No,
right.
for real.
But a convo ain't a convo. We got somebody new on the floor tonight. We got our girl Kilo on the floor.
It's
She
still
gonna be
lying.
narrating the show for you guys.
Hey,
So
Key.
any questions, comments, concerns y'all may have, y'all get with Kilo. That's her right there. She gonna show you where to go. Literacy. What y'all got, man? I'm gonna just kind of get in where I fit in, cause you know I'm a surprise guest tonight. So.
Oh, yeah, we're so happy to have you.
I want to know why people don't read no more. Like it used to be like a thing. Like we read everything. We had books we read. We had series that of books we own. Now it just don't seem like that's even a thing for adults or kids.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't read a lot as a kid.
What?
I didn't read a lot as a kid. I didn't read shit as a kid, actually.
Yeah, I think I only read the books that we had to read in school.
Well,
Yeah, I bypassed that too.
how ironic. Somebody who used to make me read a lot just walked in.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mommy.
Mama Hospital.
So, Mama Hospital, the coolest mom. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to all the mamas. But, Mama, I just want to let you know I love you. You're my bestie. You're welcome. But that woman used to make me read. We used to have field trips to Books A Million. Books A Million was my spot. Every Friday, my mama would give me like $20, $30. She would be like, look, go get what you want. And it was a series called the Drama High series. Y'all remember the Buford High series books? Are y'all too old for that? Because I know I'm the youngest one in y'all. I'm sorry.
Wow.
You don't know what the Buford High books are?
I
No.
didn't read.
But even
So-
in school.
So you mean to tell me your mama gave you $30 and you went buy books?
You went by, right. You a good job.
First of all, I
Right.
like to read. Second of all, yeah, she gave me $30 for books and other things.
I know you could buy one book for a couple dollars and
You
spend
could.
the 27 on what you
And
want.
that's what I did sometimes.
Okay.
Mama, didn't I use my money for books? Yes. Thank you.
Lame.
No, I don't know. I
Because
love
them
to
boys was over there.
Because the boys was over there.
Yeah, know that on.
That's
So
what-
I'm
that what she used
kind
to
of
tell you.
surprised to hear Sam say that he wasn't a reader because you are a very good communicator, and
Yes.
that's
Hey, man.
I think like those two things go together.
I think so, too. I would like to think so. But, hey, I mean, I wasn't no dumb dude. But I
Right.
just didn't read. I didn't, so when people read, let me take that back. So I didn't read novels. You give me something that's fiction or something that's a story, I don't get anything out of it. I get sleep out of that. Now, if you give me something that's information, if you give me I don't know, anything that's just giving me information, how to do something, how somebody created something, I could get through that. I could really, get through that. But stories, novels, I just watch the movie. I ain't never read.
So you like to read stuff that requires you to be hands-on after.
Yeah, like reading is for learning. Like
Okay.
reading don't really entertain me. It's for I learn from it.
Okay.
I get that.
I understand.
That's kind of how I use YouTube too. Still, you know what I'm saying? I use YouTube to learn stuff. I don't really go in there to get entertainment.
like
Yeah.
TikTok, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, you know, TikTok more. Yeah,
Yeah, I go on
I
TikTok.
was
to learn.
I was a hooked on phonics baby. Me, I think I was struggling in kindergarten or first grade. Then my mom bought me hooked on phonics, and after that, like I just got into reading. And one of the things she used to make me do was every day I had to read the newspaper, like out loud to
Right.
her. So
Under pressure.
I think that was one of the reasons why I became a good like public speaker, because it was a lot of pressure being very young and very self-conscious about reading out loud. But she made me a better reader just by doing those two things. So like hooked on phonics and having to read the newspaper. And then I used to get punished a lot. So a part of my punishment used to be you can't watch no TV, but we had like encyclopedias. So I would just read random shit in encyclopedias.
Yeah,
So
we had
now that I have like
encyclopedias, too.
random knowledge about stuff, it's
I was just
because of
about to say that is the correlation of
How he knows.
you like you being a human Google.
Yes,
my grandmother had
like-
like this big set of encyclopedia books, so it's like I would be punished for like weeks at a time. So it's
Damn,
like
You read
used-
all
what
them
you used
that
to
was
do?
my only entertainment.
What you used to do?
Oh, everything. Taking loose all my toys, playing with all of the chemicals under the counter in the bathroom.
for sure.
I was like a borderline pyromaniac. Like I like playing with fire, so yeah, I done set a couple of things on fire.
What?
Burnt mattress. You forgot?
Yeah, under the bed.
You remember that burnt mattress episode?
Yeah, under the bed, playing with the lighter under the bed, and the whole box spring caught on fire. But
I wouldn't even been alive.
What?
well, look, I didn't know. No.
How you still alive?
Let me explain it
How you
though.
still
Okay,
alive?
so I'm playing with the lighter, and I'm like, somebody might see the spark because the door is open. So I'm like, I'm gonna go under the bed and hit the
Thinking
lighter.
it's
Oh,
Smart.
I see why you had to read.
Right. For
No,
real.
I was like 4 or 5 at the time. I wasn't that old. I wasn't that old.
5.
You were 5?
Yeah, because my grandmother smoked, so I used
I
to go
don't even
steal
know.
her
I don't
cigarette
even know
lighter.
if I knew how to flick a lighter at that age.
Right.
I like
You-
the fire.
I don't even know if my thumbs are strong enough to
You
flick
know,
a lighter
I'm
at that age.
27. I'm 27 and can't burn mattress. I'm scared. Boy, ooh, it just give me, I be anxious when it come to matches. I be thinking my fingers gonna burn up. But I am 27 and I cannot flick
That's
a
the
match.
you
I
thing,
don't like
girl.
that though.
You ain't never been through the struggle.
I don't like no
Right.
matches.
Matches is a struggle too.
I never could get them either. Never.
Cause you be scared. You gotta commit to it.
Boy, I
That's
said-
the only way.
I done set a whole box of matches on fire.
Yes, indeed.
think boys
Strike the match and put them in the box and watch the whole box burn.
It's a good smell.
Huh?
I like that smell.
Somebody's gonna
They
say-
do
Amazing
smell
smell.
good, just like gas. Gas smell good. Yeah, gas.
All right. So why you think people don't read anybody? Like,
I don't think that like well, I'm gonna ask this question. Is it a requirement? Like, you know, like we used to have to read books in school,
that's what I was gonna
certain
say.
books in school. Like, I'm still traumatized by a child called It.
A child called It.
Traumatized.
don't
Never
know what
heard of
that
that
is.
book.
Man, that is a horrible book. I don't understand why we had to read it in middle school because it's a horrible book. Like, it's about this boy who was basically getting abused by his parents.
In middle school?
Yes.
Had y'all reading that?
Yes. Like, you gonna have to you have to like read the
That's
summary
them
of this
down the
book.
bayou schools,
Man,
bro.
look, when I tell you,
You know she from Smith Ridge.
like, it was like awful. Ashley, you remember that book?
I didn't read.
Wait, you went to LaCash or you went to Mountain Middle? Okay, maybe it was a LaCash thing because like it was crazy, y'all. Like,
Beowulf.
So-
man, look, they made like this little boy. I'm sorry, it might be a little TMI. I don't know if anybody got weak stomachs, but I'm just trying to describe to you how horrible this book was to read in middle school. So he threw up, and they made him eat it after.
Whoa.
he
His
threw
mom
up.
and daddy, dirty lowdown.
Why are we reading this in middle school? Like, the
Dirty
book is
bitches.
horrible from front to back.
Yeah,
But
we never
yeah,
got
so
that.
like we had to read certain books, and then we were required, you know, to write about
Write a-
it,
write a
give a
story.
description
Of course.
about it, you know, all of that. So
Book
like,
reports.
my question is to a teacher is that still a requirement?
And me being out of school 10 years too, the last thing I remember reading was The Crucible.
I remember.
Y'all read The
I remember
Crucible?
I didn't watch the movie.
If you watched the movie, you didn't read it. The Crucible was good though. It was about like the Salem witch trials. They was doing some weird stuff in there too. But that was a very good book. I know now, like Ashley said, To Kill a Mockingbird, they read
Yeah.
that. They still have a lot of required readings. Me personally, in my biology 2 class, I required them to read African Holistic Health, which is a very good book just about who you are and what you should be doing based off of your genetics. So that's kind of like some excerpts that I would give my students to read. Like they have to do article essays in my class just to make sure you're keeping up with your comprehension and you're reading and you're able to articulate and write what you just read. So I would do like, for example, we do all body systems in biology too. I would give you an excerpt on basically amylase in the saliva and how bromelain is found in pineapples, and that actually is what causes your mouth to itch because it's enzymes eating at your flesh. So things like that keep them engaged, I do in my classroom that's making them learn and keeping you engaged in real life time. So that's my required readings. But English, they still got like those weird books and things like
So
that.
how well do they do? Like once you test them on it, or once you get them to write what they've read.
So me as a teacher, I teach the content. I'm gonna give you direct instruction on what we're learning, and then I want you to apply this to a real life phenomenon, so you can actually see and say, "Oh, I'm not just sitting here not learning." You know, most kids say,
Right.
"Without learning, I ain't gonna never use this shit in the world." No, in Miss Jackson class, you definitely will, because I teach science and biology is the study of life. So everything we doing, like how we doing this right here, this is the study of life. This is me using my muscular, skeletal, and my respiratory system at the same time. So I get them to understand things like that. So I feel like when you teach it to them, they understand the concepts of the vocabulary, and then they're able to read it, they understand it better, versus me just giving you this excerpt of knowledge and you don't know none of these words or even how to put this in a sentence together. So I feel like teaching it to them first, helping them understand that vocabulary, then putting it in like a more, I guess, rigorous type of form, that helps them out better. And it's still challenging you too, because kids need to be challenged. I don't give a damn how, I don't care. You have to be challenged. You
Right.
cannot be complacent in my classroom. I'm sorry.
Right.
So that leads me to my point. I think we are the first generation of No Child Left Behind. And all of those social promotions and just passing kids through until they graduate or get a certificate of completion, I think that has negatively affected
That's
our
terrible, bro.
entire society.
It's terrible.
Like so many people that I know have either good paying jobs or okay paying jobs, but they're not required to like know anything. So when you talk about like influencing your children on how they read or how much they read or what they read or where they go to find information, most of the adults I know don't read.
Right.
So how can we like have this this standard for children to read when the adults of this generation have kind of just been like, well, it's okay. You failed every single thing, but we're going to put you in the 10th grade. Like, that is weird. It's
That's
fuck to me.
crazy.
Like, I don't agree with that
I
at
don't
all.
agree.
Yeah, I got partners that be like, man, I don't know how I graduated. Like, literally, like, I don't know how.
I can tell you. George Bush.
not George B. Bush boy.
But back to, oh, you got something?
I think that we're in a different era now. Like,
Right.
I feel like it's more so about how you comprehend. Like, text on a page, I mean, I'm not going to comprehend that. But if I can listen to it,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
comprehend it way better.
So I'll challenge that. So, like, I'll use science as an example. Like, you learn in science how you're supposed to have this hypothesis, you're supposed to test it, and then analyze it. Like, reading comprehension is the same way. So all of this information that we're taking in online, like, are you using any of those tools? Like, we have to have a bibliography. Like, when we wrote a book report,
what
you
is
would
that?
go look for other resources to back up or validate the information that you're reading. Now, everybody's taking in all this information online. Nobody's verifying anything.
Facts.
So, like,
Right.
a prime example is like the dude who got Donkey of the Day for driving to court with a suspended license,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh my God. That
So he's
story
on the
is so
Zoom call
funny.
with the judge. He
Bro.
was like, I'm about to
Bro,
pull
that's
up,
the
judge.
dumbest-
The judge was like, wait, you driving?
Like,
So, like, the internet ran with that. And then the next day, Charlamagne was like, wait, oh boy said he had a license. The internet ran with that. Like, nobody is fact-checking
Verifying
any
anything.
Right.
of this information. So it's like, I think if it sounds good, people believe it, and that's cool. But, like, comprehension, you have to test that and build that over time. So I feel like reading plays a part in that, a lot of that.
That's true.
I agree.
That's true, man.
But reading boring.
It's boring.
You gotta make it fun. I do interactive reading in my classroom. We do like popcorn reading for one to make sure you're paying attention.
What is popcorn?
So
is
popcorn
popcorn
reading is like, for example, if I gave us all like a little paragraph, I would say, okay, Drew, you start reading, and then I would say, okay, stop that sentence, and then you will go into the next
Oh,
sentence.
you making sure they
Like
paying
making them read out
attention,
loud.
huh?
Hey, you
type
go-
vibe.
you gonna get this up, man. What page you on?
Yeah, no, for real. That's
Right, facts. They better not do that
common.
shit.
Man,
That's common.
Wait, where we
but-
at again?
Like, hold on, what you said,
Right.
Ms. Jackson? But that just makes sure for
but
when you
that
engage.
been, but that been common. Look, we can't act like these kids. That man, look, that was going on when I was in school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That been
Same.
going
Right.
on. Reading been boring. It
But-
been boring.
So
for
if
a
you was
long
in my
time.
classroom, how would you make it reading fun? What would you want to do
I
from a
didn't-
teacher?
I
What would
can't-
you want from your teacher to make it fun?
I can't. I don't know how to really answer that because I was in class and I didn't read. And I
Wow.
made A's.
What's down?
What's
What's
y'all?
down, bro?
What's up? What's up? Like I made A's. I made the honor roll. But watch this. When I got to high school, I didn't read The Crucible, right? I knew we was gonna watch the movie at the end. I took the first 9 weeks.
So
I made
aggravated.
straight A's, and I didn't even care about that book report that was 60% of your grade because I'm gonna get
And
a
you
B
passed
at
the
end of
class, right.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
remember
doing
like,
that.
and then the shit, it wasn't even no good books. The only book I remember
Mm-hmm.
reading in school was Beowulf, and I don't know what the fuck that was about.
We never read
Beowulf.
Beowulf.
That's
My
funny.
Beowulf.
What the fuck? I don't know what that was about.
He was trifling. Beowulf was trifling.
He was.
Like he was.
and look, some stuff I like. It's like even old TV shows. I'll go rewatch them as an adult, like with
Oh,
the
yeah.
understanding I have now. But I ain't gonna read no fucking Beowulf. I'm telling
Nah,
you.
I ain't reading.
I
that.
watched
That's
the
not for
movie.
me.
I watched the movie.
So what do y'all find entertaining? Like for me, I can read anything that's gonna give me information.
I
can
like
do
to.
that.
I like to
Yeah.
obtain information.
I
That's
like
what
to
I like.
learn.
I'm not big on fiction at all.
Yeah.
I just feel like reading fiction or even watching fiction is a waste of time.
I-
Like if I'm
I-
gonna watch
I
TV,
rock with
that's
Harry
why I'm
Potter.
like a true crime person because I know that it's no
You a murderer.
faking it. Like it's real. Like it's real TV.
That's all she watch. I think she trying
She
to
a
kill me.
murderer.
I think she trying
Blink
to kill
twice,
me,
brother.
dog.
I don't know. I
Once
mean,
twice.
I've been watching that for a long time. It's my mama's fault. It started with her.
Why
But,
all mamas
like,
watch crime
that's a
shows? My
woman
mama
thing.
loves
No, no.
Snap.
That's a woman
Snap.
thing.
I
Snap.
know.
That's her show, Snap.
Man, I don't know. It's just because it's real. Like all that scripted stuff, I can't watch it.
Yeah, they be having some
I
crazy
can't-
shit
Watch
on
real
there too.
crazy people.
I can't, or either
Yeah.
true crime or a documentary that's something that's like real life, and I'm gonna learn something from it. Like like it's really a lot of
That
some
translates
people
the same-
crazy.
That translates the same way with
crazy.
books with you. Like you could read a realistic book, but not fiction books as well.
Like an
Yeah,
autobiography.
Yeah, that's-
like
yeah,
I can't do it. Like I can't do no fiction. I can't do no fiction books because it feels like I'm wasting my time. Because like I can't learn from it because it's not real. It doesn't exist.
Hey, people do learn from that shit
I
though.
don't know, man.
They
Like
learn a lot from it.
I read a lot of Octavia Butler books, and like she introduces you to these new worlds. Like she's into science fiction and stuff, but a lot of those books have like it has developed in me some things that I see in the real world because
Right.
she's talking about systems. So a lot of the books revolve around science fiction, but it also like mirrors the systems that we live in. Whether you're talking about like sexism or racism or like capitalism, like those books don't have nothing to do with like real life today because they set in the future or they set in the past, but looking at certain systems. So it's like it's almost like an allegory. Like for me, like I like those things too. Like what's the one? The boy who flew too high.
Peter Pan.
No, man.
Was it Ace? About Peter Pan. Peter, no, not
Remember,
Peter.
like in middle
no.
school,
we ain't read no books.
in middle school we had to read Aesop's Fable. Y'all remember that? Icarus.
Man, you gotta say some movies, bro.
Hey, that's the worst
No,
way.
You gotta say some movies. We ain't read no
Because a lot of movies is all about entertainment. There's no message. There's no
What you
meaning
mean? I
behind
learned a
it.
lot out the Harry Potter series.
So you read Harry Potter books?
No,
No, I
read
watched the movie.
watch-
You watched the
I'm about to say, how you
movie.
don't read books, but you read all
I
Harry
watched the
Potter.
movies. That's what I'm saying. I
It's
don't
like a
watch-
thesaurus.
Literally. An encyclopedia, all seven editions.
Right.
Hey, listen, man, I'm not
Along
reading
with
it.
Twilight.
It's gonna take too
No.
long.
Twilight was big.
It's gonna take
That
too
was a
long.
big book.
Twilight was
Twilight was
aggravating.
thick with two C's.
Like just seeing like all the girls in high school walking around with them big books. I'm
Twilight
like,
books,
bro, like,
yes.
are y'all doing your homework? Like, when do you have time
you
to
got
read
time?
this book?
So y'all never read like 50 Shades of Grey or any of those?
Man,
I
hell
read
no.
that shit.
Smut-
I
watched the
did.
I was
movie,
having sex
but
So
for real.
I actually did read a couple of. I didn't read all of them, but I did read a couple of the 50 Shades of Grey.
Man, I was having sex for real. Fuck
50
that.
Shades.
I was having sex
I
for
did.
real.
You want me to read all 50
Stupid.
shades? Like, man, I get about 3 shades and it's
Well, only
over. I'm
because
free.
my friend had them and they was free, so she was passing them around for us
You
to read.
know-
Y'all read them Zane books?
I was just about
I-
to say, black
I was
people
on
don't
that.
like reading, but niggas gonna read them Zane books though.
Ain't nobody
Hey.
read that shit either.
But niggas read
Zane
Zane
turned my
books.
ass out,
Zane.
boy.
Somebody
If you in the crowd and you read a Zane book, raise your hand.
They got pictures in
See?
it. They got,
Somebody they got pictures in there.
Hey.
hey, if you're a dude and you
what-
read, hey,
what-
how many men read a Zane book?
I done read some Zane books. When you
got
have
no
when you
time
have
for
older
that.
female cousins, boy, shit, I done
What
read
that's
them
like?
Zane books.
a sex
Zane
book?
is like black, erotic, sexual books.
Hey, it's all
Man, we was
porn.
watching
We
flicks.
was watching that. What I'm gonna
Read
read
no
that
fucking
for?
book.
What I'm
Bo-
gonna read that for?
Booty Talk
Don't get me
3,
wrong,
4.
nigga.
Like you going to see it. I don't
was
need time to
definitely watching
read it.
some
I need to
flicks.
see
Booty
it.
Talk 29. Fuck
I'm gonna
Zane.
read that for.
You know, I was reading something while I was watching. Look at us watching and reading. I was watching some on Instagram when they was basically talking about people who read Zane books, how they grew up to be more hypersexual than people that didn't read like those erotic books.
I agree with that.
I definitely could agree with that too. Not
Because
from my own
Zane was
experience.
talking about everything that Kevin Gates was talking about, like in the early
in the
90s.
early
Hey,
age.
hey,
That's
In the
wild.
early 90s.
I stole
Hey.
Mariah's before. Hey, cousin.
Ain't no way you more.
I'm lying,
hypersexual
mama.
than
I'm
niggas that
lying.
watch flicks.
Right.
Forgot she was in the room.
I forgot. Sorry, mom.
I don't know. Hold on. Did y'all hear that? Say that one more time again, Sam.
Ain't no way people that was reading Zane books is more hypersexual than people that are watching flicks.
I don't know.
It might be
Fuck
one way.
I
no.
don't know.
Well, I don't know because whenever you read a book, you able to use your own imagination and
Facts.
visualize
Yes,
how you.
that's
doing.
what
See
it
why-
is.
see,
Is that imagination.
That's what I don't get with fiction books. I don't get that picture.
You
that
don't get it?
No, I got to see the picture.
So you got it. So you
The
a
picture
visual
is in your
learner.
mind.
Yeah.
So you're a visual
Facts,
learner.
facts.
Okay. All right.
What the picture is in your mind is what you create.
It's
And
like
then, I
manifesting.
don't like how they word the shit.
Yeah, I don't talk like that.
So you want a book in your dialect.
You be
Yeah.
reading it and be
So
like,
if it was
oh,
in
that's
your dialect,
nasty.
you'll read it though?
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
my
like,
son
if
was.
if Webby would have wrote a
Right.
sex novel,
If Webby
I'd have
drops
read
some
that
books,
bitch.
I'll read it.
Talking about if Webby
So-
wrote it, you'll read it.
So Raymond never
I cannot
read
read a
like
book in
regular
Webby
novels.
I
voice.
cannot read a
Shit,
book
that
in
shit
Webby
would be
voice.
lit.
Raymond never read regular novels, but he read Captain Underpants.
Oh, I remember those.
And Captain
yeah.
Underpants used to be talking like straight Ebonics.
Yeah.
He's a white writer, but he sound like he from the fucking hood.
Mm-hmm.
So my son used to love reading them books. I'm like, son, you gonna end up talking like that. But
Oh Lord.
I mean, he had a love for reading, and that was the only thing he was interested in.
I
That was the only
remember
thing I
those
could buy that he would like literally read.
You
That's
bought all
crazy.
of them?
All of them.
All of them. They had a lot
And
of
then he
those.
got into Percy Jackson.
I remember Percy Jackson. Those were some good books too.
Yeah.
I like Percy Jackson.
Boy,
Shout out to
y'all-
my
boy,
cousin.
y'all
Right.
some nerds.
Y'all was, we was outside, man. Fuck. Y'all was reading, we was getting in fights and shit,
I'm
jumping
sorry.
people.
Y'all watch anime?
Well, Trey
No,
was
I don't
punished,
watch anime.
so he ain't had no
I
choice.
was punished.
I would like to start
ask all my
anime.
cousins back there. Nigga, who stayed on punishment more out of me or all of y'all? I probably was on
To
punishment
my
more than
hero.
all of y'all combined.
You.
Man, let's kick it to the crowd, man. Why y'all think people can't read? Anybody in the crowd?
Don't read.
Don't read.
I think
Why people
motherfuckers
ain't read?
can't read. That's what it is.
Yeah?
That's what it is. I ain't about to embarrass myself.
Right.
But they
Anybody?
read all day on social media.
Man, they be skimming through that. They don't really be reading.
Well,
People
you can
skimming.
tell who can't read. You read
You
some of them
definitely
statuses.
can tell for
Boy,
sure who
wait,
can't
ain't nothing
read.
worse. Ain't nothing worse than when you start reading a status and you click see more, and it's about this much more that you gotta read. Boy,
Right,
I'm
I
not
ain't
reading
reading
all
that
that.
shit.
I won't.
I ain't
You
reading all
won't.
that.
Oh, wait.
That just make me mad right there. I wasn't expecting all that. Now sometimes I do read it, depending on what it is.
I ain't reading no long status, and I ain't reading no long message.
So you gonna watch the live instead?
I'm not
Nah, I
watching
ain't
the
gonna
live.
I'm
give
about
a
to
fuck
say because
about
you a
nothing
watcher,
on
so you watching
social
the
media.
live.
I can't
No,
not
if
watch
if
live.
it's mess, I ain't about to read all that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch the Norman live.
The only
That shit gonna be entertaining.
Stupid.
I ain't
So you won't be entertained. I don't be watching. I don't
can't
watch no
either.
lives. So
I can't either.
I don't know. I woke up at like 1 o'clock on Sunday morning. It's 1 o'clock. I gotta go to church at 6. I woke up, I'm like, man, let me see what's going on Facebook. Man, somebody was fighting on Norman Street. Shit, I watched the whole fucking thing.
At 6 o'clock in the morning?
It's 1 in the morning.
Oh, that must have
I'm
been
like,
the
man,
one
I don't
that-
even know who these people is. Now I'm clicking on pages trying to see who this is and why they
Lord.
got
It was sad.
That must have been the fight that happened the other day.
They had a lot going on Facebook the other day.
Yeah,
the
it
trial
did.
was hot.
Yeah,
I got a
literally.
different Facebook.
We're gonna leave that though.
But anybody want to come up to the mic and
Come on down.
what's your opinion about why people don't read?
What say you?
Or why they don't have any comprehension? Or if you have a comment card that you wrote down, you can raise your hand. Kilo can pick it up
Kilo could get that
and
from
read
you.
it for you.
No, come
I'm about to
read
go
it
to
your
bed.
Come
damn
up, though.
self.
Come up here and read
No,
it.
no,
Don't let
come
me
to
get
the
in the
mic,
teacher
come to
mode.
the mic and read.
Hey, give it up for Carly, everybody. What's y'all?
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Johnny the.
You can
Yeah,
lower
yeah,
it, baby.
yeah. There you
Get
go.
comfortable.
Hi. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we
ma'am.
can
Am I
hear you,
good?
gang.
Okay. My answer to that is people don't have patience to read anymore. But I do have 2 questions that I wanted to ask.
Okay.
My first one is, do you think this social media era, because you guys kind of touched about that a little bit earlier, has hindered people to read?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
we
think
actually,
so, yeah.
we actually gonna get more in depth
Right.
in
right.
that in
Yeah.
the next topic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's our next topic.
Well, my second question is, do y'all think our current fast-paced environment, because we're all kind of like on the go, go, go now, has had a negative effect on our libraries?
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot we had a library.
I was just at the library.
I mean, like
Come on,
when we
I
were
forgot we had a
younger, we used to
library.
go to the library all the time. Like that's
Yes.
what we did. We would do our homework there. That they had the free Wi-Fi. And,
Yes.
like
And the
people don't do
books.
that now. They have their iPads in school and they don't go to the library. So
That
I'm
is
just-
true.
I mean, at
Wondering.
a certain point, it starts to become unnecessary, and that's great to segue into technology versus literacy.
Thank
So-
you.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you, baby.
But like, okay, at one point you had to go to the library to get books, to use a computer. Now I just go on Audible and listen to any book and like I want. So
Right.
what's the point of going to the library? What's the
It's like
point of
everything
doing
is
any of that?
Hey, man.
is at your convenience and it's in the palm of your hand. So it's like why go?
I'm on the fence because I feel like libraries have a purpose. Like the thing I'm most scared about with technology, like if you Google a question, that question is tailored to the algorithm that you have been building over the past however many years you've been on Google.
Right.
So the thing that scares me about that is if you're looking for an unbiased opinion, you will not find it on Google. The library is that place where you have to physically go and look at all of these things in order to find the answer that you're looking for. So it's
I mean, who gonna look at all of these things though? Because I can do that same thing with the internet. I can make sure
I get that.
but people are going to do what people do.
Yeah,
So if
I get that.
If you're a 10 book person and I'm a 1 book person, you gonna be a 10 site searching person. I'm gonna be a 1 site searching person.
Yeah, I get
And it
that.
don't matter what the information is or how it comes. People are going to be people.
Yeah,
But I think like that's what his point was, like the internet is biased to your particular algorithm. So you're gonna find the answer that they want you to find, basically. Like you're not gonna find nothing besides
I mean,
how you already think or with the
I-
stuff that you already look
I
at.
could argue that with our libraries too. You know what I'm saying? You go find what's there. That don't mean it's all that's there. So it's about
it's-
as a person how
Let
deep
me ask you
dive.
something. Do the library have how are the books that's in the library? Like how they choose which book?
Right.
it's extensive. It's super extensive.
It's a lot.
To the point where like they're buying books and they retire those books when they come out of use. Like if the spine is coming off of a book, they'll throw it away. But other than that, those books are still on the shelf. So you'll find books that are 60, 70, 80 years old still on the shelf if nobody's checked them out.
So could I find it at every library? Is there a book I can find at every
No,
library?
no.
That's what I'm asking. Like,
No.
is it specific?
That
to-
depends on budget. That depends on
Oh,
budget.
okay.
So I very well may go into a cheap ass library and not get any good information.
So sickening.
I might go to a Wikipedia library.
I doubt it.
Wikipedia
Because there's like
library.
son, I don't think I'm weird for this, but I had said in the class.
You definitely think
Oh,
you weird.
no.
Hey, look, I'm gonna just tell you.
No, I
before
had sat in the class and the lady who's over the library had gave us like this presentation. So that's the only reason I know this. But they have like a standard list that all libraries try to carry. So if those books are available, the library tries to carry all of these books per year. Like they buy all of those books per year. And as books fall out of rotation, they'll just retire them. Or if they're damaged, they'll retire them. But for the most part, every library has the same set of books. And like and that's the thing about libraries. So like, if you want to read something about white supremacy and the Nazis, if you want to read something about Nazi Germany, it's there. If you want to read something about Black Africanism or Pan-Africanism, like it's there. Like so, they don't pick and choose. Now with these laws being passed about banning books, that's completely different. But the library systems want you to have as much, a wide variety of books as possible because they want you to be educated on all these things so you could test them against one another.
Why would they want to ban? Why they want to ban certain books?
They have a lot of books that are banned.
Right now, the book bans are going on because a certain group of people don't want racism to be looked at in a certain light. So any book that gives credence to, have you heard of the 1619 Project? So this lady wrote an article in the New York Times about the start of slavery in America, which started in 1619 with its first ship. And it chronicles slavery and the black experience in America from 1619 to 2019. Then they started having a conversation about critical race theory, which is only taught in colleges. But critical race just talks about how all these things are connected.
Right.
Somehow or another, the far right got a hold of this and was like, we don't want our kids learning about that. Even though it's not taught in public schools, elementary schools, even high school, it's not taught. But that became like a buzzword. So this group decided that we should ban those books because it's a bias against white people. And in actuality, if you look at all of the history of America, you have books about from the left and the right. So it kind of does a disservice to the student or the child that's looking at all of these books if you say, I don't want y'all to read these books because you might feel guilty about some shit that somebody did 400 years ago.
Hey, man, that's been going on since forever, man. Controlling information, and that's my thing. Whether you on Google or you in whatever type of information learning system, you know, at some point it can and or may have been tampered with. You know what I'm saying?
Which brings up a good book. Fahrenheit 9/11 is about that. About in the future, like all of these books, all of this information will be hoarded, gathered, and destroyed, which leads the people to not have their own voice and don't know where to go to find that information, which causes a whole bunch of conspiracies, which turns into a dystopia. They don't have shit to do with reality, but I mean, when he wrote that book, like that was the message, like you should always have access to information. And I mean, that's why I like fiction. But that's a tangent. Y'all can move on.
So like with the technology, like, do you think that it's too easily accessible to the kids to where like they believe too much of what they see online compared to actually getting knowledge from books or getting knowledge from other sources? Like, cause it's the lines are so blurred. Like it irritates me so bad when people comment on these AI pictures like they're real pictures. Like,
Oh my God,
I
yeah.
just can't take it. Like they don't even have no fingers. Like, what are you talking about? Beautiful family. Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
So AI pictures should have no likes, no hearts, no nothing.
No.
No.
No,
Y'all
Ain't
took-
even you.
no,
Y'all
I'm not
took
gonna
AI
say
pictures?
it. I'm not gonna say it, but like I'm
I'ma
not gonna
say
say
it.
that. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm like, just take it for what it is. Like, okay, that's a nice picture. But like, if people be talking like it's real,
Real people.
Cute,
real people.
cute, bro.
I'm like,
Cute.
I'm like the people in the background. Their faces are disfigured. They don't have no fingers. They don't have no toes. Some of them got 3 arms.
But look, somebody had to like tell people that for people to know to look for that. Like
it's
you
in front of you.
Nah, I wouldn't like look at a picture. Now I'm looking for their fingers. Like
Yeah.
somebody had to tell us. Like AI pictures, their hands are deformed.
You can see it though.
Yeah, you know to look for it now. Like we didn't know that before. Like if nobody would have never.
I do it.
Today.
Nah, I
do
never
it.
knew,
I
dog.
don't even. What's wrong with their hands?
Right.
Be like this.
I don't know.
I only know because
They be like that.
Neek told me.
So they'll
be
have
having, like,
seven
lobster
fingers,
claws.
or the
Don't be
bitches
that
will be too
person.
long, or their
Right.
fingernails will be this long, like from their knuckles. Like it's
What if they got their hands in their pocket?
That's just something the AI do, or like.
yeah, it can't create human fingers, and it also can't create focal points for eyes. So like how I'm looking at you, you know I'm looking at you because my eyes are on you, so the eyes will be like in different directions. So like
What if
those
they
are like.
cockeyed?
They cockeyed.
But everybody in the picture cockeyed? Like y'all went from
Imagine like-
Picture of
every
everybody
cross-eyed person in
cockeyed. That would
America.
disturb me.
But it's like even a real picture.
was
When you pass by a real picture, it looks like it's
off.
following you. AI pictures don't do that.
Right.
Like
I
they
ain't
don't.
know all
it's-
that.
They're just staring off.
But it's like you have to, because it's gonna get to the point where you're gonna believe anything. Like you have to
Oh,
pay
y'all ain't-
attention to those details.
Y'all ain't see the new shit, like with the videos, the deep fakes.
Nah.
Oh, that shit.
I mean,
dope.
I heard about it, but like, what? Give me an example, because I
So,
probably
like,
have seen
They
it.
got a video of Tom Cruise talking about Israel and how the Palestinians deserve to die.
What?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it literally looks like Tom Cruise. Like
Oh,
you
yeah, oh, yeah,
cannot
yeah,
tell
yeah.
the difference, bro.
Oh, yeah, I
So
know that
now,
is-
like Facebook and Instagram, like you have to say if something is created by AI, because if they catch it, they're gonna flag it.
Wow.
But you can't tell the difference. They got a video of Joe Biden talking about he about to go to
Oh, yeah,
war
yeah,
with
yeah,
Russia.
yeah, no.
So you,
Boy,
so
that's
do you
scary.
think that the AI will get corrective? It'll get to the point where it'll correct those few issues.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. And like, there's a website where you can go and type in like a random phrase, like woman eating an apple at a bus stop, and it'll create that picture for you, and then you get feedback on what's right and what's wrong.
Oh, okay.
So it's an open source website where anybody can use it. So they're looking for humans to find the inconsistencies, so the AI can learn from that and fix it. Like the whole hand thing, that's gotten so much better in the last
It
6
has
months.
gotten better. It has.
So what's
Is that good or bad though?
That's
That's
bad.
fucking bad.
That's
Alright,
bad.
for sure. I just
It's
wanted to make sure.
awful.
I just want to
It's
make
scary.
sure we're on the same level. You know what I'm saying?
That shit is Terminator too.
What-
don't
but
know,
like,
son.
what's
I
the
don't
what's
know,
the
son. I'm-
what's the purpose of people taking like AI pictures like of themselves? Like,
Like we
people-
don't know you.
Cause people want to look good. That-
know-
Put it as your profile
I know you
picture.
did it, Trey.
No,
I'm
I
just
think
asking.
I think for me, like it was to see yourself in a different light.
Now
Right.
see,
So,
I
like-
like the ones that look like headshots. Like
Yeah,
the
from
ones
the-
that
the
look
picture.
professional,
Like the
like
professional. They
headshots.
look like you.
Yeah,
kinda,
I
sorta.
like those.
But
I
like
like
the
those.
spaceship, like one of them was like a dystopian future. So you would look like a superhero from fucking Mad Max or something.
You won't be a superhero?
I know, right? That what you said?
You ain't never want to see yourself in a comic book?
Man, what you mean?
I forgot. You was fucking.
Hold on,
My
hold
bad.
on.
look.
My
What you mean?
bad.
Said I was Spider-Man. What you mean?
You
they
was
got
him.
people. They got people that.
I was
still
I
call me
was a
Spider-Man.
real life ninja when I was little.
That's what
Yeah, like,
I agree.
I
I
backflipped
was
off.
Tarzan,
I
bruh.
backflipped off our house.
they didn't live, son.
I think it's a real thing. Like
Yeah, I think
You wanna
it's
see those-
definitely
those
something
things.
that we need to continue to pay attention to.
I don't know.
Because it's like, okay, so like how would you feel if somebody like you on camera, it's your voice and everything, you on camera committing a crime. But it's not you.
that's the
I
new
ain't
scam
do it.
right now. Like you
That's
get a
scary.
phone call.
But how can you prove it's on camera?
Cause I ain't do it.
So right now, if you got
That's
a phone
not
call
gonna
from your
work.
daughter and your daughter say, "Hey, Dad, somebody that took me. I need you to come get me."
I'm gonna call her mama.
Yeah, in fact, there's a process before I panic.
right.
Before I panic, I'm
yeah.
just gonna be like,
You,
first
but
of
you wouldn't
all,
think that shit was scary.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't like immediately panic.
I chastised
I
my.
don't
What
know,
you mean?
man.
Took
I'm
you?
panicking.
What you
What the
doing
hell
for
you was
Like
doing?
it's like it's literally like her voice.
Right.
It's
I
her
mean,
voice,
it'll
like,
be
why-
scary
got
after,
me.
but I mean,
You
it-
saw Taken.
yeah.
Or like vice versa. Your daughter, somebody is duping your voice and saying, "Hey, I'm outside. Open the door."
Now that's scary.
right.
Yeah, that
you,
is
You
weird.
can do my voice though.
Right.
That shit weird.
My
when
shit
you think
Nigga,
about
they dupe
it.
Drake voice.
That's Drake.
Man, he
Talking about
makes
Drake
songs.
voice.
My voice undupable.
Man, okay. Anyways.
Hey, listen, I'm not as, I don't know, bro. I know AI is scary. It can be, but I like to be optimistic about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Optimistic gonna get you put in in the
but
feds.
I mean, but ultimately, humans are in control. And I know you say, oh, they rebuild themselves better and better. I don't care. At this point, humans still in control. Like as soon as another human won't do something to stop the other, like human nature just go take over. If you create the best AI, you know what I'm gonna do? Try to create one that's better than yours. And if yours make you a lot of money, I'm gonna create one to stop.
But
you
it's
from
like
making money.
at one point, like, I mean,
Man.
I've watched a couple of videos about how people talk about AI. A lot of people who know a lot about AI say that we should
Don't
be
let
worried.
Don't let the genie out the bottle.
Like they say that's like the whole I don't know if you ever watched the social experiment or something.
Yeah, I
or
watched it.
the social dilemma.
Yeah,
Social
well,
dilemma, yeah.
Whenever
Netflix.
the guy who created the algorithm said that he kind of feel bad because he didn't expect it to turn into what it has turned into.
Well, he just
so
ain't,
it's like
he ain't explore human nature. Listen, man, anything good you create,
That's gonna be a
somebody go use it for bad, and it's gonna get used for bad better.
So like,
First.
so back to the literacy thing. Like a lot of kids are using Chat GPT to
That's big. in
write
high
essays
school.
and the
Wish
thesis
they'd have
and
had that
stuff.
shit when I was in
So
school.
over the last year, well, probably the last 2 years, that was becoming more and more popular in high school. So this dude created an AI that verifies if a human wrote
There
something.
you go.
So
It's how you
now
utilize it,
schools are utilizing that AI to double check and make sure that kids aren't using AI to write their homework.
So it all
man,
comes
that was on the episode of Abbott Elementary. Do y'all watch Abbott
I
Elementary?
love Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
I try to
It's
like
a great
Y'all
show.
remember
It's like
that
The Office,
episode?
but with teachers.
You know the episode I'm talking about?
I love
Then
Abbott.
try
when
to like
I
it.
can't think of his name, but he was mad because his coworkers responded to his email using AI, and he found out.
That's how I'm feeling though about them AI. When people update their status on Facebook, and I know you use AI, I'm like, you kind of
Hold
weird.
on, people be using AI to put their status up
Yes.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
People use AI for everything.
Look, bro, I be saying that because I can really go weeks without getting on Facebook. Like I've been on Facebook since 2006.
Damn.
When I was on Facebook, it was only for college. I was on Facebook.com. Nigga. I was only college students.
And
We
you had to put the backslash with your
with your
school name.
Y'all
Yeah.
old.
So
Yeah.
all this other stuff that's starting, I don't even use it like that. If it wasn't for communication with my people and old pictures, I'd have been deleted my Facebook.
Man, that's like that meta search button that they put on there.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
that freaked me out. I was
I don't like
like,
that. I know you're
fucking
learning
me
off me, dog. You
that's like the
cheating
AI
off me.
on Snapchat too. Like, why you there? How you got
Yeah,
here?
right.
Like, it's just weird.
It's just like collecting so much
Yes.
data. But like they say that the only thing, like once AI gets to a certain point, the only thing that can defeat it is AI. Like it's not like nobody's gonna be able to do anything but another AI.
I got a weird theory.
To your point, we got a supercomputer that's being built in Thibodeau. It's called Human.
What you mean by
listen,
supercomputer?
Hey, look,
No, it's an AI supercomputer. It's a data collector. It will sort through any type of data that you put into it, and it could tell you to the millisecond of when a light bulb is going to burn out.
What?
Hey, look, that fuels into my theory, bro. If watch this. If AI, like, what would be the ultimate goal of AI? Right? It'll be a robot that's trying to be as real as possible.
I don't think so. I think it's just about efficiency.
So you don't think ultimately it would want to have the most like they're making it to be as human-like as possible, right?
I
They
think that's
taking away
just.
human jobs.
I think that's human nature to want to create something that looks, acts, and feels like a human. But to that tool, it just wants to be efficient. It just wants to work as quickly as possible. Now, if it needs to do all those things to be more efficient, I think it'll do it. But at the end of the day, if it's supposed to make a decision or
That's human-like, though.
I don't think so.
Watch this. Cause watch this. A copy machine is made to be as efficient as possible. It can't make no decisions though. It relies on you to press the button.
Yeah, but like humans have flaws. Like we are built to be runners, but we go to fucking McDonald's every day.
That's
Like
'cause
the
we
AI ain't
woke.
gonna do that shit. Like it's
Speak for
only
yourself.
looking for it.
I ain't going there.
Right.
Man, y'all know y'all got some big bad classics.
Not big bad classes. But I mean, AI taking over real life jobs today. Like,
Yeah.
how y'all feel about that? Like,
Well-
do y'all think it's gonna come to a point where there's nobody in the stores at all?
I'm gonna tell
I
you
mean,
like
it
this. I'm gonna tell you one thing I do know. Human customer service sucks.
It does.
Right.
AI is like all that fast food now. Hi, welcome. What would you
I
like?
don't.
No pickles.
Don't and they make sure it ain't that.
Right.
No
See,
pickles, no
they-
mayonnaise.
And no attitude.
I think we're just going through like the third or fourth iteration of like an industrial revolution.
Exactly.
So like all of these jobs that are going to be canceled out by computers or robots, those jobs probably shouldn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Like if you're talking about a McDonald's where it's a repetitive thing of like taking an order or making an order, but when you talk about like somebody like KJ who coming up with new ideas every day, new recipes every day, like you're not gonna be able to replace him.
Right.
So if I am the person who is working frontline at McDonald's, maybe I need to be working for a KJ to figure out like, well, how does he think and how do I tap into that so I can find those things within myself so I'm irreplaceable. The same applies to any job. Like if you're doing a job that's repetitive, you need to be finding out how do I become a problem solver in order to move to the next level so I'm not replaced.
But everybody can't do that.
I was
Absolutely.
gonna say, so like what? Yeah, like so. What about the people who aren't literate?
Read a book,
Hey, look,
nigga.
hey, look, it ain't even about literate. If everybody was 100% literate and tried to start their own business, that wouldn't work.
But no, I'm speaking for the people who literally have these jobs because they,
Yeah, they just ain't got no education.
yeah, you know,
not
like they,
right,
ha-
right.
yeah.
But okay, so like Andrew Yang was talking about that during the 2016 election. He was saying how like truck drivers were eventually going to be replaced.
Yeah, they go have
So
to
over the span of the last 8 years, like there have been all of these programs to try to cross-train truck drivers to get into other fields. People don't want to do that.
right.
They feel like this is easy money. I'm gonna be able to do this for an extended period of time. I don't want to learn how to use none of this other stuff. So I feel like once you know that your job is gonna be replaced at one point, like you have a decision to make. And if you decide to stay where you at, like
But there's also a time frame on when to know that, right? If you in Silicon Valley, you at the real speed of the world,
yeah,
technologically. If you in Louisiana, you 7 to 10 years behind that curve,
Facts.
like automatically.
and you gotta know that. So like during the pandemic, like how many people you saw started dispatching a truck driving business
Quite a few.
during the pandemic,
Right.
not knowing that like this is gonna be obsolete in 10 years.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So you can know, like, even if you know, you can say, I'm gonna make my money in the next 5 to 7 years,
Right.
and I'm gonna jump out, go find something else. But a lot of people didn't know that, so they jumped into it and they put all their eggs in that basket. Or you kind of fucked.
Right.
So like, are you referring to how they say they gonna have the trucks basically drive themselves?
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody else remember that movie when cars were driving themselves?
You talking about the one that just came out?
No, it's
Cars?
an old movie.
Oh, was it Christine?
Christine was
What
a
is it?
scary movie, huh?
What is it?
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum
Okay.
Overdrive.
Thank you, because I've been trying to find it's like that movie just disappeared. I saw it a long time ago and I never saw it again.
Gotta erase that
But it's
shit.
crazy, but it's crazy that that's actually about to happen. Like
And it's happening.
it's happening. Like just imagine you like an 18-wheeler, you know, you pass by and there's nobody driving it. Like I'm
Oh,
already
man.
That
scared
would
to
be
drive
freak.
by you.
That's like Teslas. I don't know. I can't go to sleep and let my car drive me.
Shit,
No.
boy, I've been waiting
I
for this
don't
all
know.
my
I'm
life.
sorry.
Boy,
I
you
can't.
crazy.
Boy, we grew up on the Jetsons, boy. I'm
What
about
we
to press
going-
this
what we
button.
going, Houston?
I can't do that. I don't care.
all the
Nah, I
way.
don't trust it. Y'all heard like Rick Ross say he don't drive Teslas because he's scared that the government
all
gonna
right.
tap
Hey,
into
look, hey, look,
the
I done-
brain of the car.
hey,
Rick
look.
Ross.
Oh.
Shit.
Man, watch that series.
I
Have
don't
y'all
know.
watched the series The Peripheral on Amazon?
No,
Oh,
I never
yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah.
And did you see what happened to all the EV? Like,
That's a
no,
real
you're not
bad.
about to lock me in my car and drive me
I
somewhere
think that's gonna happen
against my will.
They gonna lock you in there. You can't get out. And then
Not doing
I
it.
mean,
I
look.
don't know.
If it get that bad to where the government just like we done anyway.
Yeah,
You can say it
like,
is what it
We
is.
done.
Who thinks that terrible? I think
Stupid.
about taking a trip to Houston and not having to watch the road.
Houston, nigga, Florida,
Yeah,
Miami.
Anywhere, like I'm thinking about that. Y'all thinking about what if the
I
car
don't know,
transform
man.
and turn on that? I don't want to think about it.
Man, I don't even trust a backup camera, much less
Fuck
falling
no.
asleep in my car.
Hey,
Like,
black,
no.
black people don't use no backup camera.
No, indeed. Right.
Being that bit like a truck driver, boy.
My mama said the one time she used her backup camera, she hit a garbage can.
See?
Come on.
I hit plenty.
So she gonna keep turning around from now on.
So what are the pros of technology and literacy? I know as a teacher, like they're changing everything to like Chromebooks now. Like when we was in high school, I know when I was there we didn't, so I know y'all didn't have it.
Fuck
But no
damn,
offense,
you niggas.
but
no
they have
offense.
Chromebooks now. Like it's rare for kids to go to the libraries and things like that. Me personally, as a teacher, I'm an old school, new school teacher. Like old school, we gonna have paper and pencil. I need you to read this book. New school, you know, typing and things, because that's what the standardized tests do, is all on computer now. So I feel like there is a pro within that, but I just feel like kids still gotta have that tangible knowledge of knowing how to read.
But that is a negative even in
Like-
that, because like you get fatigue, you get eye fatigue.
You do?
From staring at a screen too long. Like even with like the Amazon Kindle, they tried to duplicate what a real book looks like,
Yeah.
because you can read those Kindles longer than like your phone or a tablet, a regular tablet. So it's like there's a con in the pro.
Yeah, but like, all right, so something like Amazon Kindle go cease to exist because people could just listen to the books on audio.
I doubt it, man.
Y'all
'Cause
like listening to books?
Man, look, it's not about where the world is now, right? You're judging kids on where the world is now. Where the world gonna be in 25 years? Like, that's the world they gonna be adult-minded in.
but
Like,
is that a good thing though?
I don't know if it's a good thing, but
I don't
it's
think
gonna
it
be,
is.
But it's gonna be
I
the
don't
thing,
think so
though.
either.
Listen, where we at wasn't a good thing to our grandparents thinking about it, but it's where we at.
No, and I'm saying all of this negative shit about it, but I use all of those things. But I know as an audio learner, like if I hear something once, I remember it forever.
Me too.
But being a passive listener, when you listening to an audio book, that shit does not stick.
It stick to me.
It stick
It
with
don't
me,
stick
and they
with
have
me.
different types of learners, bro.
Right.
Like, it's
that
that
shit
shit
stick to
does
me,
not
dog.
stick to me.
Cause I don't like I be moving around.
I use my hands.
I can't just sit there and read no book. I always got some shit
You
to do.
fidgeting, you just got
Yeah, so
something
I
that
put
you
that
can't
shit
say.
on and
Y'all
I can
niggas need
still-
Adderall.
Nah, like I just be active. Like I'll be listening to an audio book shooting basketball
Right.
in the gym
That's
working out.
crazy.
And see, schools didn't traditionally explore all those other options. You had to sit there and you had to read.
Yeah, I
Some
can't
of
sit
us would have
still.
did way better listening to
Listening
the shit.
to it. Okay, I
You
get
know
you.
what I'm saying? Or watching a movie like myself.
So you think like as a teacher for like maybe my lower end kids, have it out loud to them instead of
Yeah,
them reading it?
let them learn on TikTok.
Right.
Let them learn on
Find the
TikTok.
right TikTok to teach the lesson
Boy,
you're trying to
fuck
teach.
TikTok.
I'ma tell you- I'ma
Well,
tell you
know,
when
not
school
that in
changed.
particular, but you know something.
Little
This when I
something.
knew school was changing. When they took the old school pencil sharpener out
Oh,
and
yeah.
replaced them with the electric one.
They ain't
I
got
said,
no
"It's
elbow
over with.
grease no more. You don't-
It's over with. I
you don't
can't
get
even.
an arm workout
Shit
no
ain't
more.
been the
Then
same
they
since.
took out all the blackboards.
Yeah,
Right,
they
you ain't
took
got no
out
chalkboard.
blackboard.
It's over with. It's
Now
over
they got
with.
smart boards.
Yeah, we got Prometheans now.
Yeah,
Hold on.
What is that?
Promethean board.
that shit lit.
What it do?
It's like
what that do?
everything.
Like,
like a-
touch screen.
it's
Like a
touch
camera,
smart
screen.
board,
Yeah.
like a.
Swipe.
You could put your camera on there. You could play.
So it's like a big
PlayStation
iPad?
5
Come
on there.
on.
AI board,
Come
basically.
on, man. I might
Man.
be a
Big AI
substitute to
board.
go
The
play with
AI
that thing.
board.
I sub for a week.
So
You
that's.
took up.
I know that's not one of our topics, but how do y'all feel about like this big gap between like certified teachers and substitute teachers? Like, it's such a need for teachers, and you got subs who don't have like no background in teaching.
Man, this is my thing with the whole certified versus non-certified thing. We got certified teachers that aren't as good as, like, for example, in the science department, we have a teacher that's not certified, but she is phenomenal. Test scores out the woo-ha versus a certified teacher who was in that position. The scores were so much lower. So I feel like it doesn't matter on your credentials, the impact that you have on a
Right.
student. I'm sorry. If
I
you
think-
certified and you've been certified for 30 years, but I come in the room and say, hey, I'm not certified and I'm doing way better than you, man, that don't matter to me. I feel like there is a shortage of teachers based off of, for one, the lack of respect for teachers, for one, the pay. Do we got a raise? Or shout out to Terrebonne Parish for giving us a raise. Shout out to them.
I agree.
But
I
we
think
do
we can-
finally got one. But I feel like it's just so much
y'all
that
two.
goes into education that people don't really realize, and they think we just really there all day talking to your kids. Like me, I'm a teacher, counselor, therapist, dietitian, you know, I'm a police officer. Sometimes I got to be a security guard. It's a lot that come in. I ain't breaking up the fights though. It's a lot that comes into school. Like, so I think just the job itself is a lot for people because we didn't ran through a lot of teachers. Just me teaching the past 6 years going on. I didn't have a teacher tell a student, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, whoa, you can't do that
that'll
across
be
the
me.
hall.
Oh,
you
that'll
know?
be me.
But she's like,
Hey,
no,
some
they
of them
just
kids
don't
need to get cursed
listen.
out. Fuck
So we
that.
was talking about that too. Some teachers, they had a teacher, and she was like, I only cuss at my students because that's what they understand, you know?
Wow.
And I feel like that's sad in itself because why you only understand me when I'm being so
Shit, they
That's
mama.
rough with you?
Right.
That's
So,
what they
like-
parents
But
do,
why I
too.
gotta, I don't know.
Hey,
And
look,
then on the
man.
teacher turn, then they scrutinize the teacher for, doing this, but that's how she controls her classroom. So that was kind of like a
Hey,
one-two
as a
shit.
parent, kids do understand curses more than regular words. They do.
But kids normally act different at school compared to at home.
They got more kids there. Yeah, of course.
Like I don't know, they just be acting different. But like, what is that? Like, what do you think changed? Because when we were in school, teachers were like extensions of our home.
Yeah.
Like they were there 20, 30 years without leaving. Like they retired from there.
I
But
know.
now it's like teachers are dropping out. Like just getting tired of it. Like, is it the kids? Is it the parents? Is it
It's
non-discipline?
administration
Like,
too. That plays a huge part. What you said, I know? I heard somebody say something. Oh,
It
but
starts at home. That's what she said. You ain't lying.
it just a lot plays in part. Administration, the students, because you got some students. I think the hardest thing as a teacher for me is when you have a student that you try to motivate so much and they just don't give a fuck. That's the hardest thing for me. So me personally, when I first started teaching, I didn't have any honors classes, so I have regular and honors now. I so much rather the regular classes because that's the kids who I guess teachers shun away from or they feel like they can't. But those are the people who just need a little more guidance, a little more motivation, a little more love. Because some of them, I'm going to say probably 95% of them don't get that love at home. So that's why I'm Miss Jackson. I'm the coolest teacher on the block. It's deeper than science lessons with me. You're going to get these masteries in advance. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, school is a getaway for a lot of kids. And I feel like a lot of teachers don't understand when they come into it, the demand of what these kids need, especially me teaching at Ellender. Like, I taught there on purpose. I could have went to whatever I wanted to, but I know it's a need of
You
teachers.
knew they needed you.
I know they needed me. Like,
That's
and
dope.
it's
That's
teachers
dope.
that don't give a fuck. Like, teachers really just be there sitting at their desk. I'm trying to change the world. Like, I'm not no regular, degular, smegular teacher. Like,
Smegular.
I'm not regular, degular, smegular. Like, I'm trying
Talk
to.
your talk, Key.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to create thinkers and not workers in this world, man, because we so confined, like Trey said. Like, if you don't know nothing, then it's going to be an absence of that. So a lack of knowledge is a lack of self. So you in my class not only learning science, but how to really become a better person when you leave out here. I want you to see me in Walmart and say, damn, I remember Miss Jackson told me to stop eating pork, and my mama high blood pressure went away, and we've been doing good. You know, just things like
Right.
that.
Shit,
Whether
yeah.
it's, you
Right.
know, I don't know. I just love what I do. Sorry, y'all, I got so passionate. I just love what I do.
We
You know,
love
I
you for what
love
you
my
do.
students, man. I got Inspirational Educator of the Year. It's just, and that lets me know when students nominate you for something, that lets me know I'm doing my part within them. You know, I don't give a fuck about nothing else but the kids. That's just me. So,
Period.
I kind of.
thank you, boo.
That's a great segue to our next topic, which is teachers versus parents. Who is responsible for a student's comprehension? Like I said in the beginning, like why I feel like a lot of people don't read is because of No Child Left Behind. I feel like a lot of parents don't have no comprehension. Like, we can want better for our children, but my homeboy always tell me something, and it stuck with me this week because I really been thinking about this. But he was like, you cannot lead somebody beyond the place where you've been.
Of course.
So a lot of parents are in a position where they want to see their children finish high school because they didn't, or they want to see their kids go to college because they didn't, but they don't even know which things to enforce or reinforce within them to get to that point. So it's like, I guess I look at like teachers as those guides to kind of help the child and the student, I mean the student and the parent understand what page they need to be on. But it's such a big disconnect that the parents feel like it's them and their kid versus the teacher.
Right.
And
Right.
there's no, like, you was just saying, like, I feel like the reason why it worked in our generation was because those teachers were a part of our community and our parents had a respect for what they did.
Right.
If Miss Jones, if you went to Oakland, you had Miss Jones knew your mama.
Facts.
She calling your mama. And she gonna let her know, like, Trey was cutting up today. And it was a respect on my mother's end to give her credit and say, nah, if my son do something, let me know what's going on. But now, like, I don't think you have that. Like, most parents want to do the right thing, but we're just in this weird place where we don't know how to create those relationships.
Most of the parents hella young too, and they don't give a damn.
Yeah, bro.
They just
Like,
don't care,
bruh,
right?
they just don't care. I had a student, now remind you, we in school 180 days. I had a student that missed 98 days of school. I'm calling. I'll pull up my school status right now today. I'm texting, calling, texting. Hey, there's an action plan of action we can do for this student. I want him to pass. Oh, girl, he been at home chilling. Girl, he been having headaches. Okay, so can like you help me out with him?
Oh, you the cool mama.
I'm a C, because I've been having headaches too, girl. It run in the family.
Y'all got
So
mold
what
in
are we
the
going?
Damn,
So
headache
first of
run
all,
in
y'all
the
both need some valerian root. You know, I don't know what's going on. Y'all need to drink some water. Y'all probably dehydrated. Second of all, I need you to make sure your child is coming to school, ma'am. Like, it's a lot of, to the point where it's so sad. I had a student who parent let him drop out of school because he didn't want to, and she wanted him to stay home and raise the kids. So
Wow.
I have a lot of parents that don't, I have a lot of students who raising their siblings at home. And a lot of those kids, their parents are like, well, I need the help at home, so I'm sorry. What?
So is it not true that your parents will go to jail if you're
Oh,
not
yeah,
going
you
to
go to
school?
truancy court. Oh, you going to the pen.
Oh, okay, okay.
Going.
Somebody
You
going to the pen? So
That's
so how does that process work? Because like if he missed that many days of school, then like at
10
what
days
point?
It's 10 or more now. 10 or more days of school. I don't know how many it was when y'all was in, but it was 10 for
20.
me.
It was
It
10,
was 20?
10 per semester.
Okay,
All right, well, I
so
wouldn't
it's 10
Oh,
per
it's
year.
5 per semester.
It was 5 per?
I don't know, because I wasn't
I was
missing no
in
goddamn
school,
school,
big
nigga.
shit.
So it's 10 per year now. So if you miss more than 10 days and you get a letter for truancy court, you don't respond to the truancy court letter like to the judge, then I think it's like a date that you would have to do. But I had a parent that went to jail for that. Child missed 112 days of school. We only in there for 180 plus vacation. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
So
you
look,
going to jail.
so look, I got a problem with the backlash that Kamala Harris. Like, I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris at all, but she got some backlash. Yo, fucking
Who that
vice
is?
president.
No, that was
No,
that
we
was
know.
not.
She
that
got
was-
she was she got backlash for enforcing that in California. Like, she wanted to put people in jail for truancy, but to her point, like, it's a school to jail pipeline. If they don't finish school, a large majority of these kids gonna end up in jail. So like, I gotta hold the parents accountable, and they felt like she shouldn't have done that, or she being too hard on black folks. I'm like, nah, these niggas need to be held accountable. Like, if you not taking care of your responsibilities and making sure your kid go to school, your ass should go to jail.
Right.
So
I agree
like,
with that.
I just feel like it's a weird place where our entire generation has a problem with authority and accepting accountability for the shit that you do that's wrong.
Right.
And like, maybe you need to call somebody out on that shit. Like, why the fuck is your kid at home? Like,
what you
Facts.
doing? Like,
every time I'm here, you here.
Right.
He
We
got
don't, want,
that
we don't want their
refrigerator.
kids to go to school. And, like, I could just, it's the parents' fault because they cool-ass parents. Like,
Right.
They trying to
Like,
be the friend,
look.
not the parent.
missing school, when we was in school, that's the worst shit ever. All you could do is sit at home and breathe. You
That's
can't
it.
do nothing.
You can sit at home.
One day,
That's
what
it.
your one day,
You
what your
ain't
friends
watching no
doing?
TV.
What y'all doing?
Not in high
You
school.
ain't watching no
Right.
TV.
In
You
high
ain't
school,
playing
we
no
was fucking.
games. You could barely eat.
You sick.
You
Right.
sick. That's the
could
only
barely
time you miss school. If you sick, and if you sick, you can't do nothing.
Right.
You ain't about to
fun.
play nothing.
Go lay down.
Right.
I think the comprehension is like outside of everything else. Comprehension, especially, is I think that's on the parent, man. Like you could send your child to school every day. They could come back dumb as a doorknob. Like it's on you to understand if they actually learning something.
Right.
You
I
know
was,
what I'm saying?
I was just
Then
about
you can't
to say.
blame the teachers. You can't
Right.
blame this if you ain't really like. I mean, you know if your child dumb, you should.
Yeah.
So y'all
Right.
parents, do y'all ask y'all kids like after school, what did you learn
I
today?
literally ask my kids to teach me what you learned. Because if you can repeat it, then you know it, right?
Right.
But if
So
you could-
that's it. Teach me what you learned today, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
what that
start-
ride home for, man. We done
start
made the
doing all
block
that,
about 6 times, boy.
For real. And I always tell them was real too. So we'll go on some history, man. What y'all learning? They'll be talking about the pilgrim. Be like, all right, you got that? Let me tell you what really
Let me
happened.
tell you what really happened. So boom.
Yeah,
Let me tell you about
yeah,
Christopher Columbus.
facts,
Let me tell you what really went down. And I'm that teacher too. I teach the truth. I don't give a damn.
Because you don't know. I mean, you meet your child's teacher, but you don't know
You
them,
don't
and
know
then
them.
you don't know their
Right.
comprehension. They might
Right.
be stupid.
And I think
Yeah.
that, like, to my kid's point about like having those real world scenarios to connect those things, like having conversations about current events. Like, I do that with TJ because I feel like that was the thing that was missing for me. Like, I wish I would have had conversations about politics with my parents when I was younger. So
Shit,
I would have been more aware of how all of these things work together, or just about money, or like seeing how some of these subjects that we learned in school connect to like being an adult. Like you need to know these things. It may not benefit you while you're young, but it's definitely gonna benefit you when you get older, especially if you plan on having children. So it's like having conversations about those current events, like talking about the economy. Like you 12, but you about to learn about some shit about the economy because you need to know about that.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I
it
agree
happen.
with that, but I don't agree with them learning civics and stuff so young in school.
I'm glad you said
those
that.
type of topics need to be senior year instead of, because I always ask, because they do the leap for civics now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this new. Why y'all not teaching civics to the 12th graders? They 9th grade, fresh out of Oakland. They not worried about no civics.
Boy,
and
you
things.
hot.
They-
You
know,
just-
you hot
see
in the
all
draws.
these fine scenes.
So I
boy,
think
where you
those
at?
subjects should
Well,
definitely
I don't
be
remember
taught.
nothing from civics.
You remember nothing from
Honda
civics?
Civics, maybe.
To my Honda Civics.
That's about it.
Sport move.
But I think that's by design, though.
Yeah,
I think that's by design.
for sure, by design.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, as a teacher, the curriculum, like, do you design your own curriculum, or is it like a basic curriculum they give you to teach? Or
So for biology, we have a Colorado curriculum. I don't agree with the curriculum in Terrebonne Parish. Every year I've taught, the curriculum has changed. We got iHub, then we got a scope and sequence, then we have this. Oh, like next year we're going to Open Syed. We just got this email earlier. We're going to Open Syed next year, which is
What
a
the fuck is
curriculum.
that?
Yeah. It,
Right. Open
Some
Syed.
AI
Yeah,
shit.
some AI stuff. But Open Syed is basically this college gear curriculum, which I understand. But my only issue with that is, like right now, they want us to implement Open Syed with the iHub. And iHub is formulated in Colorado. Our kids, like Sam said earlier, Louisiana literacy rates versus somebody who lives in California or Colorado is two different. It's two different calibers of learning. So when it comes down to y'all expecting the kids to perform at these expectations of this pacing calendar of this curriculum, they can't get it because y'all expecting them to know what DNA is versus, you know, having the time to do it. Like me, I'm a direct, this is how my class go. We learning about DNA. I'm gonna give you a direct instruction lesson on what DNA is, the importance, what it do, what it binds with. Then we can apply that to a real world phenomenon. But I can introduce a real world phenomenon to get you thinking about it. But I can't just assume that you know all of this information from something that you haven't been taught when you've been passed along the last 3 years in school. So that's another thing.
I got a question.
What's up?
I got 2 questions, but one
got 2
question.
answers.
Do they still do ranking, like for students?
Yeah, they still do rankings.
So why aren't the parents told about the ranking?
yeah, 'cause I don't know nothing about that.
I don't
Come
know
on,
if y'all
about
know.
that.
Look, if you were ever like a honor roll student,
A nerd.
and you had like one bad year and you ended up with the slow kids, it's because you had a ranking, and your ranking dropped, so you ended up in a class where you didn't belong. So that happened to me between Acadian and Elysian Fields, and I'm wondering why I'm in the class with all the slow
He's in
motherfuckers.
special ed, I'm fine.
He was in his rhythm class.
I'm
But-
fine.
So like it had a lot of shit going on in my home life, so I really wasn't focused on school. But when I made that transition, I'm like, that fucked me up so bad, I never got back on track.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how off track I was until I was an adult, and I'm reading about this shit, and I'm like, well, damn, how do I even find out what my child's ranking is? And can I say, nah, we gonna fix this shit over the summer. I want him to stay in this class. Why isn't that a thing?
I don't know. I know now teachers have the right to say whether you belong in honors or not now. So it used to be just like administration. So say, for instance, if I teach regular biology and honors biology. If I have a kid in my regulars class and I feel like he's just getting it and like he's ahead, I can recommend him for honors. It's never been nothing to demote a student to another class, like a honors going to a regular class for me. But now it's basically promoting the regular kids to honors now to really push their rigor in them. But I've been teaching 5 years. I have never had an experience where they was like, okay, you need to put him in another class
Damn,
because
you was-
I think
know.
that's very
That ain't me,
What is
gang.
that?
That's
I think
the
that's
AI
very
right
unfortunate
there.
because I know for a fact my 3rd grade teacher was racist as fuck, and I was on the honor roll every
bro.
9 weeks in that woman's class,
Hey, bro.
and I ended up in the slow class in 4th grade.
What's
Hey,
a
bro.
slow class though?
All the
Like,
niggas,
what's the slow
Yeah,
class?
all the special ed
how
niggas.
slow are we
Like,
talking?
what is
like
slow?
everything from like I don't give a fuck about school. I'm trying to be in
The
the streets.
504 class?
Yeah, like I was in one of them classes and I was so bored that I didn't do no work
Right.
in 4th grade.
Hey, bro, you know when we was in school, teachers could do no fucking wrong.
Nah, fuck
It
that.
wasn't no teacher versus the parent, none of that shit.
Nah,
the teacher
fuck-
called
fuck Miss
home and
Bourgeois.
said you
Fuck
was
Miss
doing
Bourgeois.
something.
I hate that
no,
hoe.
Miss Bourgeois.
that
Fuck
wasn't an excuse. That teacher don't
She
like
probably
me.
dead, but still fuck her.
Nah.
Damn, Miss Bourgeois.
That changed my entire life. That changed my entire life.
Right.
Nah, it's all right now.
You gotta sit
No, it's all right now.
Man, you need
but
to heal
looking
from
back
that
on
shit.
that, like to know that somebody made a decision about your life that you had nobody in my family knew about.
And the
that.
way it affected you too. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, that shit
Affected
completely
you.
changed.
Man, you was bad. You started fighting.
Nah, but I was a good
You
student.
That's why
Right.
he started
You
them
trying
fires
to
under the mattress.
Hey, bro.
That was the reason.
That decision came from God.
Yep. Boom.
You probably right, but fuck her.
Y'all stupid, dude.
Right.
A woman told me there was no such thing as a B honor roll, and I'll never forget that
What?
shit.
What?
Bitch put me on a B honor roll because I had one fucking B. Boy, fuck you.
What?
That's
You
a,
couldn't
that's
be
a
on
pretty
the
good
Aviana
deal.
roll? I ain't gonna lie, I've been mad about that too. I was on the AB honor roll.
That's a pretty good
For
theory.
real.
She was trying to
Had a
get you to
sticker
be
and
better.
everything.
You should make AB,
Throwing
man.
the
Oh,
sprinkles
right.
in the orange
Bro.
juice.
Nah, fuck that.
Respect it.
I don't like her. Never will like her. I take it up with God.
I had a teacher. She went Facebook Live on me. We was in a meeting together because her son. Yeah, she went live, and her mama went live on me on Facebook in the meeting. And at the time, my principal was a black male at the time, and he was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you recording us on Facebook Live?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm recording. I'm recording to show y'all that the teachers never win and the parents always do. Because I want y'all to know that parents always will have the right of way, and what we say goes for our child. So do y'all believe that the teacher is always wrong and parent is always right when it comes down to how they want their
No,
child
hell
raised?
no. no.
You gotta know your kids.
You gotta know your kids.
What you mean, like right and wrong? Like if you're the teacher, say I should do something with my kid, and I think you know what I'm saying, I think against it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you gotta know your kids, man. Fuck
I
all
don't
that.
know. I feel
that's
like-
what it is. A lot of
Bad,
people
son,
don't be
like-
knowing how they're.
Like it's hard for me to go against an adult, right? I got to see the flaw in you. Like if I tell my son all the time, listen, man, I got to know what you do. That way, if somebody tell me something, I know what to believe. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to guess. My son ain't like that. That sound like my son. He did that shit. Cause if you leave me to assume, I have to take the side of the teacher. She's an adult. He or she is an adult.
So you're
Right.
not
I gotta
just
take
believing
her-
what he say
I
right
just
away.
let him know. Look, bro, don't let it come to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not taking your side.
I take it with a grain of salt. I don't. You got to show me. You got to show me some facts.
Right. Gotta show me facts.
I'm not gonna just blindly believe a teacher, and I'm not just gonna believe my son because I love him. I feel like I went through that with Quinez. Quinez was going to East Park, and the teacher was saying, she just not getting it. We're gonna have to hold her back. And I was like, nah, it got to be something else. So when she ended up going to Mulberry, like she became an honor roll student. So, but if I would have took the side of the teacher, just believing that she wasn't getting it,
What
she
was
was
the change though? Was it a change in the environment?
it
or
was a
just
change in
the-
environment, and also like the way that the classroom was, and I was like heavily involved. Like I'm going there every day and seeing that like you just basically giving this information and you're asking the kids to regurgitate it.
All right, so you're right. So after you see the extent of what the teacher does, then I can make my assessment and differentiate.
That's
how
what I'm
to
saying.
handle
Like
it.
that,
Right,
if
right,
I would have
right,
just took her
right.
word for it, I'd have been on her ass. Like you just need to try harder.
That comes first though. You always do that first. Like man,
Nah.
get your stuff together, see what you can do. Once you see it's a problem, then you start to assess and be like, all right, let me see if this teacher doing her thing. Because I know teachers are limited. Like sometimes kids are active. And as a teacher, you can't do what you need to do to get them to be inactive. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. So I had a kid. Right. And at a certain point, that's what it took to get my son to calm down. And if you can't do that,
Shake
then,
the nigga.
if you can't do that, then you up shit creek.
Hey,
you know what I'm
like-
saying?
That's right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember like when I first started going
Bull puppy.
to Southdown, like we used to get paddlings and shit.
Y'all got paddled? Y'all that old?
I ain't
that
get
old.
paddled. I ain't get
You
paddled.
got paddled,
I'm that
you?
old.
Well, I was good.
Oh my God.
I ain't get paddled.
Yeah,
I was
so
good.
hey, we needed that
You
shit.
got paddled?
Yeah, like
So
Boy, I used
explain
to
the
pray Miss
paddling
Vic was in
process.
the office.
huh?
Explain the paddling process.
So-
You be bad in class.
Look, well,
bad as
first of all,
fucking class.
hold on. I ain't never get no paddling because I caught my ass whoopings at home.
At home.
But I mean, I remember like they used to go to the office. This dude had a big wooden paddle
Hanging up on the wall.
hanging up on the wall. And he'll paddle your
Ain't
ass.
no, fucking
Oklahoma.
way, ain't no way you can hit my kid with
At
a paddle.
Oakland, you had Mr. Salter and Miss Vic. Mr. Salter was like a 300-pound white dude, and Miss Vic was like this skinny, frail, old black lady. I used to be praying for Miss Vic, like, Lord, please let it be Miss Vic.
Oh, you used to get paddled?
Fucking
Man,
right.
you was
got
fucking
paddled?
bad, bro.
I was terrible.
You was talking about that woman, boy.
How
That
many
woman.
times they hit y'all, Trey? How many times they whooped y'all?
You either
Like,
got 3 or 5, depending on
Damn.
what it was.
it was slow 3, like
So
Man.
what constituted a paddling? Like what you had to do?
If it was worse than detention, but less than suspension.
Paddling?
Suspension sound like a paddling sound so much worse than
then the suspension.
It really wasn't, though.
Nah.
I don't know nobody. hit
Because, like,
me. Nigga,
I was used to getting ass whooping, so these little 3 licks you getting, like, that really ain't
So
nothing.
they
But-
didn't hit y'all too hard, or they was able to hit y'all
Oh,
with
no,
an
that
as
shit
many
hurt. I ain't
force.
gonna lie.
Yeah, they
Mr.
had to
Salter
put that
had
pie
ass.
on your ass now.
man.
Mr.
I ain't
Salter
gonna
used
lie.
to be putting that pie on
I
your
mean,
ass.
I done seen people get paddlings, you know, like just walking around school and shit. And like I think it was a great time. A
So,
time was
It was
had.
necessary.
Time necessary,
was
man.
in that office,
Fucking bad. Look, once they took that out of school, they could go to knocking teachers out and shit.
But the other thing was,
Yeah, right. Look, I wanted to ask you
Well,
about
all
that.
right.
You been seeing all them
Shit,
videos.
all right.
now
I'll
remember-
lose my
I
job.
remember why I
Turn
got
to
so many
Action
paddles.
Jackson real quick.
Started
I
all the
remember
way.
why I
Real
got so many
quick.
paddles, because you had to choose. If you chose a suspension, they got to call your mama.
If you
I'd
got
have
paddled, they
definitely-
didn't
I'd
call
have
your
definitely
mama.
took
The
a paddle.
paddle, you just going straight back to class.
Oh yeah, you couldn't miss
Damn.
no school.
Oh no, I'd have
So
definitely
you
took a
just took your
paddle.
paddles all
I'm
the
gonna take
time.
that leg. Give me
Man.
the 3. I'm about to
So
go
how
back to
y'all
class.
feel about talking about like weapons? I guess weapons in school. So they got this new bill where they trying to talk about teachers being able to bring guns
I don't
in the
trust the teachers.
classroom.
Hey,
How do
I
y'all
hey,
feel about that?
Hey, y'all fucking need them kids.
No, look,
Shit,
son.
Clutching.
I don't think
Look,
that's a
son,
good
if
idea.
It
I don't think that's
if
a
it
good
had been them
idea.
teachers of old that wear them dresses down to their ankles, and you know what I'm saying, they not gonna use that. Man, these teachers, man.
You think
what?
I'll use my Glock in class?
Yeah, I think you would pop somebody.
What?
You will have to.
I don't think that's a a idea, y'all.
I don't think
But
it's
is it-
Imagine
is
you
it-
get,
look,
like you said, you got a
think-
class
I
that's
think-
real
I
active.
think it's a
They don't want to be
terrible
quiet.
idea.
I said sit your ass
I
down.
don't- Listen,
I don't think. Look,
What?
But is it for the
A teacher
is it for the
could pop
students
off.
or is it for somebody coming in as a school
Man, it's
shooter?
shooter.
It's supposed to be for school shooters, but what if you have a teacher that class is like Freedom Riders? Y'all watch Freedom Riders. Imagine you got a class like Freedom Riders,
I up
and they
on them
just
bitches,
don't
me.
want to stop.
Boy,
A teacher
nigga.
might click out. People
yeah,
crazy.
I don't trust.
Nigga gonna have to
I
spend
I
on
don't
the
trust
school
no
board.
guns in no class.
I don't think that's
I
a
don't
good
trust
idea.
myself.
Son, if
I
you
don't
pull
think
a
that's a
gun
good
out
idea.
on my
Clutching in this
kid,
bitch.
I'm about to spin on the whole school, boy. Nigga, we gonna spin again.
Up.
Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
a
trust.
terrible idea.
But
You
they
don't
thinking
think-
about
you
it
don't
though.
think
They
They have
are.
metal detectors at y'all school and stuff.
They got what?
Metal
Yeah, we do.
detectors.
We have metal
Why?
detectors.
How many officers?
We only have one. We
Why
had-
don't you
why-
get 7
We
of them?
had 2 this year,
Why
but
don't
they
get
keep
10?
leaving Ellender. We
But-
never could keep
But
it
why they got metal detectors?
for vapes.
That's it.
That's it. And
Predominantly?
they do a weapons and vape check randomly throughout the school
Like,
year,
if
but
they
it's
didn't
not
have-
it's not an everyday thing, which I don't understand.
If
And it's
they
the
didn't
ones
have-
that you walk through too.
If they didn't have metal detectors, I
this-
think kids would try to bring guns to school.
This in
I
the,
know kids bring guns to school.
This like in the center, like what the office at Ellison?
You been to the new Ellender with the? You been to the modular buildings?
No.
Okay, well we got the trailer park now. It's at the back of Ellender.
To my trailer park.
It is a little trailer
It
park, but I
really
love
is.
our trailer park, Lord. Y'all, we got a 10-year lease on them schools. It ain't gonna last. The walls coming out. But it's like the little ones that look like this, and you walk through it, and it's like kind of it's like a little boom, boom,
Like the
boom.
ones that they got at the courthouse?
Look, I went.
Yeah, like the ones at the courthouse that's kind of like in the city marshal thingy
I
that you
went,
walk through.
I went and did a presentation at Thibodeau High. Boy, it felt like I was walking
Yeah,
in
that's
Ashland.
jail over there.
Son, like if you walk through the metal detector, you go through the office, and they gotta buzz you in. And when they buzz you in, it's like, damn, I feel like I'm in the holding cell right now.
They
Hey,
got
that
bars
shit
over there
feel
too.
weird.
you know
Like
they
bars.
be saying that school and jail
Man, it's
is
same.
the
It
same
is.
design.
Son, with the gates in front of Thibodeau High, I was like, man, there ain't that much protection in the fucking world. They think somebody come drive through this bitch with a tank.
They gotta wear like clear and mesh school bags at Thibodeau High too. In
Man, them
Parish.
kids be clutching.
Yeah,
They
I
do.
ain't- Yeah. Keep the clip.
We had one incident this school year with a gun, and the boy had 42 bullets on him.
Wow.
That's a
42.
lot of
See?
dead people.
42.
Wow.
Y'all need guns. Fuck that shit.
No, man, them teachers ain't got the capacity.
Nah,
son.
y'all.
And some of them kids bigger than teachers, they go feel what it is. Feeling what's the thing? What's the Trayvon Martin thing? What's the
You smelling your drawers?
No, man, don't worry about it. I can't think.
Don't worry about it.
Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, what the dude was doing said?
Oh, Zimmerman.
Oh, the Zimmerman guy?
Oh, I feel threatened.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
whatever that
yeah.
is, yeah.
Oh,
Stand your ground. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Staying
there you
ground.
go.
Oh, this is a stand your ground state. Oh, this is completely off topic, but do y'all know that they just passed a law in Louisiana that if a peacekeeping officer says that you need to step back, you got to remove yourself 25 feet from that officer?
And
Or
if
you
you,
could get a $600 fine and 61 days up in jail?
that's
How the
crazy.
fuck I'm gonna know?
What? Wait,
25
what you
feet?
said? A piece? What?
Any officer, but it's not just police. It's marshals. It's what's the other people?
EMT.
I about to say EMT too, but I don't think
It's not the marshal. They run for office. They got one in Berg. I can see the dude's face. I can't think of what he do though. But they not cops. But it's any peacekeeping officer.
How do I become a peacekeeping officer?
No, that's
Not an
student
SRO.
A marshal?
It's
No,
the
not a
people
marshal.
that they go give out like subpoenas and stuff.
Oh, they ain't no real police.
But if they tell you like you got to step back and you don't comply, like you going to jail.
Like, but step back for what?
Like for example,
whatever.
if a
Any
police
reason.
over there got his hands on you and you over there, we like, what you doing to my partner? We can't walk over there and see what they doing to you at all. We got to be 25 feet away from you.
Or you could get what?
$600 fine or 61 days in jail.
Or
I'm
shot.
just go.
In concurrence, so like 61 days in jail and that fine.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, if that ever happened to me, I'm gonna just beat the police up.
I got your back, brother.
Just beat his ass up. I'm
It's on my
going to
bucket
jail
list.
anyway.
That's a
on your
felony
bucket
though.
list.
I don't give a
I'll
fuck.
probably be the end
Lord have
of the
mercy.
bucket
I don't
too.
give a fuck.
Hey man,
I don't feel like I do nothing to
Like the
deserve that.
like the
Right.
Facebook hoes be saying, be fucking for
so,
real.
So what's the lowest level of being a public officer or whatever you got to say? Whatever you can do to tell people that, because I won't be the person telling people to get away from me and they got to get 25 feet away.
I can't think of that dude's name. I don't remember.
I just won't be low level. When they be like,
Not
get
low
away,
level.
20, I'm like, man, shit, you got to be 25 feet away from me too.
Nah, man, that's crazy right
It
there.
is wild. It's a lot of laws, like that gun law. Like that's crazy too. Like everything is just wild in Louisiana right now. But
Man,
let's
niggas
talk about
don't
this.
read.
You think they sliding all these laws in because people not as literate as they should be? Because I know people don't read no
That's
law
what I'm saying.
balance.
People
Like,
not
how these laws
reading.
get
Hey, that's
passed,
a
right?
great
Niggas
point,
don't
bro.
read.
Do you know like how many laws have accidentally got passed over the last couple of years because nobody read the amendment?
Nobody read. Exactly. They just put yes, no, yes, no.
Fake
Like we
laws,
gonna
man.
purposely make this hard for you to read, so you just vote no.
Yep.
Right.
Oh my God, that's.
It's
Anyway,
just
let's talk about these acronyms and get out of here. Man.
don't get a headache, brother. Don't do it.
Acronyms, man. Like
The acronym culture.
The acronym culture.
IKYTFL.
ASL.
IK.
I know the fuck you lying.
I know the fuck
I
you
know
lying.
Yeah,
It's
see,
like
they,
AF.
They got common ones, and look, some of them becoming more common. I ain't gonna lie, I be having to ask people about.
So what's
some
the
of this
most common acronyms?
Probably
TV, my favorite. One.
IDK.
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 AF.
IDC.
You know the vibes. I be on.
You
that
know
shit
the vibes. Yeah, you know the
every day.
vibes.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Facts,
Right.
facts.
They need a fucking acronym dictionary.
That's
or
what's
some
gonna come,
shit.
son. Listen.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you
We
just
should
fucking
write
old.
one.
You
That-
out the
that-
loop now.
We should write one.
That's
Fuck
why
the
I
loop.
be
You
excited
out the
about
loop
it.
now.
Do it.
Yeah,
Write
it's,
an
the,
Hey, look.
acronym.
they already
book.
have, it's the Urban Dictionary.
FTL. Fuck the loop.
Hey, look, son. Hey, look. That's why I like it, bro. Because it's like literally like, I like the fact that you put acronym culture because it is cultural.
It
Like-
is a culture.
Like
Yeah.
I like it the fact that we could come up with our own acronyms, and if you don't know, then you just
You don't know it.
Right.
Out of the loop.
It's like a
gotta
little.
be
It's like a
up
little
to
secret society.
It
Right.
is. Ooh, we should create an acronym.
That's my thing. Like with hieroglyphics, that's how hieroglyphics was. That's
Yeah.
why they misinterpreted it because
Yeah.
it could mean one thing for this culture and one thing for another culture. Like if you ain't of this, you ain't gonna know.
Have y'all
Okay.
ever read or like studied hieroglyphics though?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you really look at it because
Yeah.
a lot of things mean a lot of different things. You just gotta.
It's how you interpret
It's
it.
all how you interpret it.
Like I said, it's just like emojis.
Yeah.
It's interpreted based on what group of people use it. You know what I'm saying? Like I still don't know what the face with the tissue mean. I don't know. I don't
So,
know if they
right.
sick.
Slime.
So somebody
Slime
see
you out.
you,
I don't know if
Slime
the
you
nose
out.
bleed. That's what they slime.
You slime,
Nasty
nigga.
word.
Slime
They
me
got a
out.
nosebleed emoji.
Mom, slime, boy, I slime that boy out.
got a
See what I'm
nosebleed
saying?
emoji.
Like, but why
No.
this? To another subculture, it means something completely different.
Right.
That's just like the purple devil face emoji. What the purple devil face emoji?
Demon
mean?
time.
Demon
means
time,
it's
right?
The
That mean-
smiley
that-
face, the
that mean
smiley
I'm
face
ho-
one
that mean
though.
I'm
Oh,
horny.
they got
Smirky
one that
face?
smile
Yeah.
and they got one
That
that
smirky
frown.
face one mean it's up.
Yeah.
The purple
mean
one
you're
means
horny, huh?
horny, right?
The purple one mean nasty for me.
Yeah, they got a song
It means we
about
about to get active.
I'm horny.
Yes.
that. You know what I'm
Freaky
saying?
ass nigga.
Hey, I like. And see, I like that about.
You forgot your mama was
Hey,
up here.
hey, hey, hey.
You forgot your mama was up here again?
Mama. I keep saying mama. Hey, mama.
Check your phone.
Mama. Boy, y'all mamas check y'all phones right now.
And look, this she over there taking notes.
You
Like,
think she
oh,
over there
hey, look,
taking
she
notes
over
on her
there taking
convo?
notes. She
Mike,
don't
you
eat
gotta
no
say something on the mic. I see you over there writing on your convo card.
Hey,
Daughter is
Hey.
not what I expected.
hey, what you just said?
Huh?
Exactly.
That's what you meant, daughter, have talk with daughter.
What you,
Yeah,
what
them
you just
eggplants
asked?
ain't
What
no
I
vegetables.
said.
If our mama what?
Oh, did y'all mama take y'all phones and check y'all phones when y'all was in high school?
No,
Fucking phone
this
by
was
the
the
time I
worst
had a
thing ever when you was coming up.
I was in college.
You on the phone?
You was in college and your mama was checking your phone?
No, I'm saying
When he
my
had
mama
one.
wasn't checking my
Oh.
phone. The first
Nah,
time I had a
this-
phone, I was in college.
This the worst when you're on the phone talking to somebody and your mama picked the phone up and say, "Didn't I tell you hang that phone up at 9 o'clock?"
We had house phone. We didn't have to, look.
I ain't never had to go through
You,
that.
so
Man,
you-
man, I'ma holler at y'all
I had a
tomorrow.
house phone, but talking
But you,
on a house
but,
phone,
yeah,
that
but
mama clicking it.
you're too young for all
Right.
that.
Yeah, I was too young for that. I'm the youngin' of
Man,
the
I'ma
group.
call
Never had
y'all
to call
tomorrow,
no dude and
man.
ask his mama, could you
Fuck.
speak to him?
You had to legit talk to an adult.
I'm calling doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you gotta talk to
May
two
I
people.
speak
You
to
gotta
Sal?
talk to at least two people when you call.
He punished.
Yes, may I speak to nigga don't talk like that.
Right.
You gotta get off. You gotta get off
Nigga
the
on
phone and use the internet.
Nigga on the phone
Get off the
cursing and
phone and
shit.
use the
Nigga, I
internet.
mean, speak to-
Like,
So
like,
y'all couldn't be on the phone and use the internet at the same time?
No,
no, bitch.
boy, nigga, pick up that phone while you
The
on
internet click off.
America Online.
Yeah,
That was the
Yeah.
AOL, right? The little dial-up thing.
Yeah.
I got a vague
Kicking you
memory of
straight
that.
off.
Yeah.
Very vague.
That used-